Welcome to hole number one of the Parisian Tour 9-hole cup. Now, starting off here, we're going directly down the middle. You can use higher level extra mile, but I like to bring a big topper here in basically every other situation. The power three ball is to help get me up near the end of this middle fairway. If you want to use a bigger ball in headwind to set up at the same position and not need to use overpower, you could do that too. 9 bars of topspin, which is max, 1 left spin, and we're just going to hit this one cleanly and perfectly down the middle. You might have noticed my second bounce was in the rough. That's intentional. We're going to bounce here nicely, clip the rough, just like that, and roll out as past the shadow of that tree is going to put you in a nice end bringer distance. Now, you can use whatever wedge play you prefer, but this is the one I recommend. Now, I played the drive 10% max. We're going to go 20% at slider here. I can't remember what I come up with. I think it's like 75 or 80% or whatever it might be. But this is an interesting, fun old course. We've been playing this Parc de Paris for a good long while now, and it's fun actually for me to be going back playing the original hole locations. I like the new hole locations. I think good modifier, but I think it is nice to kind of have that traditional nostalgic experience. Some folks, they always want something new, and I like the new courses too. But there's something to be said for, for that classic experience. Really gives you, gives you the vibes. So gotta hit perfect. This is a great chance to start off with an eagle. Okay, so hole number two, this par three, it can be quite straightforward if you have a good wind. 2 bars of backspin, 2 bars of right spin works out very well here with a quasar and a backbone. And that is no fake. 80% mid distance is the elevation here. Now, one thing I know about the backbone in the rookie division, it actually can play quite well in many situations with a 1-to-1 adjustment. Now, this one here happens to be 80% mid, but keep that in mind. If you don't know what to pull with your long iron with that backbone, try 1-to-1, especially when you got that max level. This one's not quite max level, but it's going to get right where you want it to be. Hole number three, we get a little par 5 here. Now, we're going to go for the gusto here. I'm going to play 3 bars of top spin, 2 bars of left spin. I'm setting up with an extra mile and a power 5 ball. Now, I recognize you might not all have the same ball in combination. If so, use a big topper here, max top, a couple bars of left spin, bounce it before this last fairway. Otherwise, I'm going max overpower here, 3/4 to a ball of curl, try to hit perfect. Now, you'll see into the wind, a minor great right here does play safely. However, this can certainly put you in a bad position depending on the wind here. So comes in nicely into that third shadow, should put us up into guardian range. We'd like a couple more yards on this drive, 385 plus. So definitely can be wind dependent here. Now, the last bounce is up on the green. We're going to go max back here, which is 0.5 or so, 1 bar of left spin. And actually, ideally, would like that second bounce to be about 1 green square further up, just to get the full effect of the rollback down the hill. This one, it's just a little bit of a finicky setup, but it is absolutely a chance for an albatross, especially here with the original hole locations, just because of the fact that it just kind of, there's a little bit of a funnel here, like nothing crazy, but if you find that right spot, you set it up properly, -5% max elevation on the adjustment here. This one can come in very, very nicely. This one, as you can see, a little bit older footage, glitches a little bit there, but just not quite high enough to slope to roll back, but gives you a simple tap in eagle. Hole number four. Now, this is an interesting little par three. I'm setting up here with the Titan ball, and I've got 3 bars of top spin, 0.5 bars of right spin. Now, depending on the wind, you might, or your clubs, you might not quite need the Titan here. In fact, you could get away with the power ball, power 1 ball in some situations. Gonna play this elevation adjustment here, 10% mid distance, and I just got that edge of the yellow ring touching the edge of the rough here. This is an interesting shot. I think most players are going to go for this rough bump. There's certainly bounce shots aplenty, but this fairway is so bumpy. Get this one in the hole. Hole number 5, par 4 is an absolutely decent chance at getting yourself an eagle. I got that big topper once again, 7 bars of top spin, 2 bars of right spin, this time intentionally setting up with the Titan ball. And you'll notice the top right of that yellow ring is touching the edge of the rough, with the second bounce just down the middle of the fairway. Too much topspin here. This can get a glitch roll. It can end up in the bunker at the end of the fairway. It's too short. You'll be playing with a longer club, which is not a crime. I like the way this one comes in, though, with this particular angle. rolls in just out past, I think just past the shadow, or just close to the end here. Should put us in a beautiful short iron thorn. Now, I'm going to play my thorn here with 3.5 bars of backspin, and we're going to bounce it on green directly. However, there is bouncing from the island. There's a little bit of a funnel here if you've got the top spin on your short iron and the ball guide to work with. So keep that in mind. The funnel is having the top of the yellow ring very close to the top of the island. 10% mid here is going to be the adjustment with that 3.5 backspin it directly to the hole. Both ways of playing here are absolutely very, very viable. And I think we have some insanely low scores playing this the gold course. But it'll be fun. It brings back some good times for me. And I hope it's going to create some new good times for some. And yeah, get that ball in the hole. Let's go. Hole number 6, this par 5, I'm setting it up with a king maker because we believe we can get the drop here. I got the extra mile, 4.5 top, 2 bars of left spin. If it's a strong crosswind, you could definitely go 3 bars a side spin there just to get this one with that second bounce nicely over the bunker. And I got the top of the yellow ring, the rough here. That's particularly for the headwind. If you've got a tailwind here, don't hesitate to have like the top of the red ring or half the ring, the top of the rough there. 20% max is the elevation adjustment we're going to be playing here, and coincidentally on the second shot as well. So no curl, no funny business here. This can be a sensitive drive. Do indeed take some practice shots and make sure that these notes are going to work for you in the live tournament win, because this is generalized wind based on previous tournaments, so I can't guarantee what you're going to see here in the tournament. Second shot, playing with the sniper. I'm going to come in 3.8 back, 2 bars of right spin. Now, on the left-hand side of the trees, I wouldn't consider this, a guaranteed drop by any means, but it does give you a decent look here. And some people will actually play just to the right of that tree, a little rough bump there. That's a possible option as well. Always interested to look at that. But with the headwind here, trying to avoid the spicy rough bumps with trees and bunkers and everything, and really just going for something a little bit more of a sure thing. So get that adjustment up in here. It's always nice to try to get that clean. Now, a little bit into overpower there. So I'll probably give it just a little click or two of overpower to try to make up for that. All in all, though, this one is not going to be a big time drop all the time, but every once in a while, you just get it to go just. All right, so hole number 7, this is another good chance to get a drop here for this par 4. I recommend playing at least Marlin in a tournament situation, okay? Yes, you do see me the basic ball here. Anything is possible, okay? Now, we're just laying up to the end of this first fairway. You could use a sniper, you could use a hammerhead. It doesn't really matter. I happen to have the Viper here, but I'm really looking forward to having that backbone in the second shot. So I give it a little bit of topspin here, a little bit of curl. It all depends on the wind. Just use your feelings. Get this one down at least to that last shadow if you can, but this will play here very, very nicely. Second shot, I'm going to play this one with just about a half a bar of backspin, and you'll notice how we're kind of bouncing over the right side of that central rough, that little grove. Checking our distance, very close to max here, which, goes to show that that drive is just fine. Don't be like Dadon. Don't be that kind of guy. Why you spam people? You know what I'm saying? Just play cool, have fun, treat each other with a little love and respect and kindness, and you should get a lot more of that in return. Nonetheless, we'll mute the idiots, and we'll adjust here 10% max with the backbone, and hopefully just hit perfect here. Like I said, bring a Marlin, bring a Kingmaker, whatever you got. This is the path, this play. This is the best way to silence the haters. Get the boom, baby. Get in the hole. I'll see you in number 8. Hole number 8, this could be a bit of a frustrating par 3, but it is absolutely droppable. Now, I'm playing here with a Quasar and a backbone, and we're going to play it with, ultimately, 0.5 back, 1 bar of right spin. Now, you'll see I'm playing around with it, shake it more than twice, But anyway, you could also tell with the final spin that we're going to play 3.5 back, 1 right go. A navigator would work very well for this shot as well. So 20% mid-distance is going to be the adjustment. You'll notice how we're just kind of getting that ball guide lined up just so. Wind distance, wind direction, and velocity. There's a ton on this hole. Give it a clean little adjustment. 20 mid here should put us in for a very, very good look at this par 3. Once again, it's nice bringing together the old shots. We get lots of booms. Gets you lots of good looks at these holes. Hole number 9, let's pray for some kind of tailwind here, okay? Setting up with the Kingmaker and the quarterback. In most conditions, you could probably play this with a Titan, but that headwind here. Now, I've got half a bar of topspin, 3 bars of left spin, setting up at the +6 yard mark with this quarter level 8. Keep that in mind. These references are going to change depending on the club that you're playing and the direction of wind. If you've got a tailwind here, you might even need a half a bar of backspin. Keep that in mind. If you roll into the rough here, the eagle is almost certainly dead. Once you get that drive dialed in nicely, half a bar of left curl here. Make sure you're to the left of that gigantic bush. Then you got to look to get it over the water. You're going to need distance here. You're going to need your longest, strongest club. Bring the big dog. And if you've got low-level clubs, you might play a power 5 ball on this hole just so that you can get this second shot across the water. Playing max top 7.5 and about 2 bars of right spin here. You'll notice with that headwind, we're going to be kind of adjusting into overpower from that position. Kind of eye a little bit there. But 10% max here should work in most winds. We've got to give a lot of overpower into headwind. Like at least say, 3/4 overpower, about a half a ball of right curl. And if you do all those things, this is obviously nicer in tailwind. You get that bump, roll it out here. You could even get it just green side. Get that putt, get your eagle. Hope you guys have a wonderful Parisian Tour 9-hole cup.